Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Episode 92! Yay! So, in case you haven't noticed, we are wearing nails and lashes. If you haven't watched our RuPaul's Drag Race reviews,
check them out.
Click on that. Anyways, tonight we are reviewing Money Monster. That's my monster. We've clearly had some wine.
There's so much wine.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about this movie.
Yeah.
Two things. First, not as bad as I expected.
Didn't hate it.
Second, the cringiest moments for me, where I was just like, was whenever George Clooney was talking.
I 100% agree.
Like, basically, the worst, most uncomfortable moments for me was before he was held hostage.
Yeah, so he is the host of like a Mad Money-esque TV show.
Yes.
And it's everything I hate.
Get some balls! Man up!
It was like edited insanely. There was like desperation about being cool. We're clearly not supposed to
think that he's cool?
No, like he's the villain.
Okay.
Right? But they didn't sell it home enough. And then he didn't have enough of an arc way through. So when it ended, I was like, I still don't really like you.
No. I mean, he wasn't an asshole at the end, but like at the beginning, he was just kind of sort of an asshole.
He was just like a full-blown douchebag.
Yeah. And at the end, he was like a douchebag who cared.
Right? So basically you like don't like him and he's awful. And then he gets held hostage. It's like, yeah, punch him in the face. I like it.
Yeah.
I want to see some desperation in those eyes.
But like a different kind of desperation.
Yes.
Not like Santa wants some loving. Desperation.
Santa Claus wants some loving. Yeah.
Santa Claus wants some loving.
Not that kind of desperation, which was a lot of the desperation I was getting in this.
Yes.
There's still like a lot of George Clooney trying to be cool.
There was a lot of George Clooney dancing, like hip-hop dancing, singing,
it was
rapping.
really awkward.
So weird. But for me, the movie didn't take enough of a stance either way. Like, this movie wants to be network. Like, it wants to be a pin-perfect black comedy.
Yes.
Not really. It doesn't want to be a black comedy, but it wants to be like making this like really specific social commentary, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't quite. It like almost does.
Okay, there's two things. First of all, the problem that I had was that George Clooney's character wasn't a journalist at all.
No.
And he didn't really seem to be a really good financial analyst either. While I hate shows like Mad Money, I'm not sure that's exactly who we need to be going after.
Well, that's my thing. It started as, it's going to be a larger issue. And it was like, oh no, it was really just this one guy who was like greedy and did this one thing.
Yeah.
Let's judge him, this non-fiction person. And it wasn't even specifically like a Bernie Madoff reference or anything. So you're kind of like, well, you're not really damning the financial.
Exactly. I don't know, I wanted them to go after the financial sector. All I wanted was a scene at the end where George Clooney goes, this guy was the tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely.
Fuck my stupid ass show.
Yes.
No more of Money Madness. Money Madness now is the fact that Wall Street is madness and they're stealing our money. And I'm going to, through my journalism, reveal this bullshit.
He should have had a
He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to just say that you're gonna do it.
Yeah, that would have been great.
If they had just said, I'm going after these fuckers. I'm gonna avenge your death. This guy that I felt, he was like, oh, he felt so upset when he got shot. Yeah. And it's like, okay, then continue the thing that he started on.
You have such a good way of rewriting these movies and making them great. That's absolutely what needed to happen at the end. And then Julie Roberts feels fulfilled in her job. Full circle.
It all would have come together.
Instead it was like, awkward forehead kiss. I guess we'll have Chinese food.
Awkward forehead kiss was so weird.
Once the hostage situation started was when I actually started getting involved in the movie.
Thought the guy
who played him was great.
I might be the one with the gun here, but I'm not the real criminal. It's people like these guys. They're stealing everything from us and they're getting away with it too.
He was great. He carried the movie. He's supposed to be our moral center.
Yes.
But for me, I don't know. I guess I like that he was flawed.
Yeah.
You know, they showed that he had flaws to his system, but he didn't have that, like, rallying moment where he took charge of his own. Like, everyone else had to do it all for him.
Yeah, a little bit.
In a way.
Yeah.
And he didn't have that moment of clarity where he was like...
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Like, he didn't quite have that moment.
But I don't know if that was his
transcendent
character.
moment. I don't think it was, but it
I guess the problem with it was because that wasn't his character, it made me wish that my ending with George Clooney was what happened. If he was the Snowden of Wall Street,
yes,
then I would have been like okay with George Clooney being a fuck shit. But I don't know what that term is, I made it up, but I don't care.
I love it.
I like it too. But I will say this. I liked the fact that his character was this flawed,
yes,
was this kind of weakling
yes,
who had been slighted and pieced it together and was angry.
He wasn't like a pious messiah figure.
No.
It would have been so annoying.
No.
Yes.
And he pieced it together and was angry, and he was an idiot and he didn't know how to deal with it any other way than to fucking put a bomb vest on someone on TV. You know, and he was like...
No,
he was at his wit's end, and
his character rang true, very true.
It did,
to me, and
it was a very specific thing. The problem with it, for me, more than with the problem with his character, was that the problem was with the other characters.
Yes,
that there wasn't someone.
There wasn't a moment of like, this is fucked. Let's all get together.
Yeah.
With the way things go.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not really going to change anything.
That was kind of the problem, was that like all of it seems at the end it all seems still in vain.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think I really like Julia Roberts as an older actress. Mm-hmm. Because I still don't love her back in the day.
She's kind of like chilled.
She was a little bit too Anne Hathaway for me.
Yep. I'm here for that.
And now she's kind of like got a little bit of I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That it's like the perfect balance. Because she is talented.
Oh, yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
But like it was always to a little like, wow.
Yeah.
That it was like, oh my god, back off crazy. And now I'm kind of just like...
Great comparison.
Thank you.
Spot on. I did think she was slightly too prepared for the situation that unfolded.
Yeah.
Like, she was a little too much better than the cops and the negotiator at everything.
A little bit. I liked that and I didn't like it.
Yes, because it wasn't focused on, we're going to make a statement about reality TV or about this kind of thing. It was sort of just like, a little bit. You know what it was? Her character was too pious. If she had been a little grittier, a little dirtier, and a little more like, oh, I'm going to get so many fucking ratings out of this, just a little bit.
A little bit.
I would have been more interested in her character because I would have been like, what's her motive here?
Yeah.
What's going on? And then there would have been more tension, like, is she doing this to save George Clooney's life or for ratings?
Yes.
And that would have been really interesting.
That would have been interesting. I kind of wish, a lot actually, that this movie had benefited from some, like, Nightcrawler realness.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like, Nightcrawler went into, like, that idea of journalism and, like, motives and, like...
Well, it was focused.
It was.
This wasn't focused.
No.
It was like, we're kind of going to comment on reality TV. We're kind of going to comment on Wall Street. We're kind of going to comment
But we're never going to hit hard. They pulled their punches.
Yeah,
And as a result... I liked it. Like, I was entertained for most of it.
And it was like a fine movie.
It was a fine movie. Well, you know what the problem is? Who is the protagonist?
The bomb guy?
I don't think they knew.
Yeah.
And I think part of it was probably that it's like, well, of course it has to be George Clooney. And it was like, well, of course it has to be Julia Roberts. But, like...
It was not.
It was not. I wish that she had been our protagonist.
Yes. Yeah. And
you don't even have to change much about the script, but if you just shifted that focus, you know who else I liked? The girlfriend, fiance?
Oh, yeah.
So that was the only time where the movie really came out of left field, thank you.
Baseball. So, the trailer, they make it seem like she's, this, barefoot and pregnant, I love you, honey, just come
you lost all of our money, what are we gonna do? How are you I'm gonna lose you.
Yeah,
don't give up your life.
She's really become a caricature here.
Well, whatever.
But they make her seem like she's just gonna be this, sad, pregnant, crying wife.
Yes.
And she goes in. She's
real.
To the guy holding the bomb, to the young guy, she's like, fuck you, you suck, you cry when we have sex, you're an asshole, you lost all our money, I don't care about you. She went in hard. And I was like, what movie is this?
Right?
Also, love it. I was like, ah,
it was really, that was the most, I think, intense moment of the movie for me.
Absolutely.
It was like,
there were some times in this movie where it took some turns and some twists where I did not expect it to go.
It really did.
That's why I can't say that I disliked it.
I was pleasantly surprised by this movie.
Yeah.
Certainly, I had a lot of issues. I didn't hate it.
No.
I would give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's been watching our reviews, that's pretty good.
That's pretty darn good. And I think had it not been George Clooney, I would have really liked it.
I think so too. I just don't like him.
He's just George Clooney to me.
It's just George Clooney on screen.
Oh, there's George Clooney.
And actually, if I were to say anything, the role I liked him in the most was A Very Merry Christmas, because he was just being George Clooney.
I didn't like that at all.
I hated it, but at least it was him being genuine.
No, you know what? I really like him in One Fine Day. I love that movie. It's him and Michelle Pfeiffer. It's a rom-com.
When did that come out?
In the 90s.
That's what I'm talking about recently.
No, recently, no.
Exactly.
He's been far too tan for far too long. We didn't talk about our other favorite character, the policeman with the mustache.
Oh my gosh. The village people played a role in this movie. Well, one of them.
One of them. It was the cowboy, but he was dressed like a cop. So basically this cop shows up and he's kind of fabulous and has a mustache. Everyone else has full-on helmets, covered up, and he's just like, look, check me out. And there was so it started, it was one shot, and I was like, oh, that's weird that extra caught my attention. And then he showed up again and again and again, and he never had a helmet, and I was just like, you're fabulous. What's happening with this guy? What's this guy's storyline?
Yes.
But yeah, I didn't hate it. If you were at all interested after seeing the trailer, it was pretty good.
I would say I wouldn't rush to theaters to go see it.
You could rent it.
But I would certainly, I wouldn't be pissed if I rented this or watched it on, whatever.
There was interesting moments and things that surprised me.
Yeah.
Which doesn't always happen.
No.
So it was pretty good.
It's totes.
It was toasties. We had to remember Captain America, Bucky, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Falcon, Ant-Man, Black Panther, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man,